For the first time, a major feature film is shedding light on the life of Harriet Tubman. She became an icon of freedom and the face of the Underground Railroad. Tubman made 13 trips over 10 years, leading more than 70 people to freedom. The movie Harriet chronicles Tubman's escape from slavery and how she became an Underground Railroad conductor. Cynthia Erivo plays Harriet Tubman. After arriving in Philadelphia, Harriet meets abolitionist and Underground Railroad leader, that's William Still, played by Leslie Odom Jr. We know him, too. Harriet soon wants to go back south to rescue her family.
Rescuing slaves requires skill and careful planning. It requires reading, Harriet. Can you read a sign or a map? Can you read it all?
I put my attention on trying to hear God's voice more clearly.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? They would torture you until you pointed them right to this office. You got lucky, Harriet. And there's nothing more you can do.
Don't you tell me what I can't do.
You tell her what she can't do, Leslie. Cynthia Erivo and Leslie Odom join us. Leslie Odom Jr. join us here at the table. Good to see you both. I have to say, I was a little embarrassed because when I started thinking about Harriet Tubman, I thought, I really don't know anything. She was a leader of the Underground Railroad. She was a conductor. I knew that she was a small woman, but I didn't realize the physicality of what you had to do. So I'm wondering how you prepared physically and mentally for this role, Cynthia.
So I was training before we started getting to set. You know, I'm a fitness fanatic, so I went at it really hard. And I made sure that I had like a spin bike because I wanted to keep up my stamina whilst we were on set. So I was working out the hour before I would get on set as well, so that I didn't have to play catch up whilst we were doing all those things, because the stunt work is me.
Is you. Yes.
And so, one thing that was really wonderful about learning about Harriet is that she had a deep connection to her spirituality. So that, I guess that gave me the space to look at mine.
To go in
and, you know, be a bit braver with my faith and say my prayers and really, like, I guess, embrace it. So that was really helpful to create the space for.
And Gayle's right. This is a figure from history you think you know a little bit about, but there's so much more to know. What surprised you the most in learning about this character?
I think it was that it was really her faith and what she believes were God's directions to the way that she needed to go. And I didn't know that was such a huge part of her story. That and the fact that she was ingenious. She was the one that hired the lawyer. She saved the little bits of money that she would get from being hired out to hire the lawyer who drew out the papers that that proved that her mother was supposed to be free when she was 45.
And then using song to communicate to people whether it was safe to go out, different tempos.
All coded. So depending on the verse, it would tell you where you were supposed to be, whether it was time to go, when she was leaving, when she was there.
And
Leslie,
the first... Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know a little bit about playing historical figures. You were in Hamilton. Why did this story, which is such a critical part of history, do you think take so long to get to the screen?
I think for a long time there was this data around Hollywood that, you know, stories about Black life didn't make money. Certainly stories starring African-American women wouldn't make money nationally or internationally. And I think more recently we have data finally that really proves that, you know, to not be true. So we're seeing our stories being told on the large screen, which is amazing.
This is amazing.
I know one Harriet Tubman expert described her as bad, bold, beautiful, and Black. She was a superhero before we even knew superheroes. They described her as that day's Serena Williams. So what did it mean to you to play her? And you certainly know that you've gotten a little blowback. People have been drinking cups of haterade because you are British, saying, why is she playing that role? Number one, I want to know, did that hurt your feelings? And what did it mean playing her to you?
I mean, I'm human, so you know, those things, you can't not have them affect you, but at the same time, I completely understand it. I know that well, yes, because we don't get to see these stories very often where we get to look at ourselves. There are very few and far between where there's a woman of colour in the centre of the story, in a period piece, doing action, and fully rounded. It doesn't happen very often, and there's this woman that means a lot to everyone.
Well, no disrespect to Kate Winslet, but it's not like if they had cast Kate Winslet, a white woman, British, as Harriet Tubman, I could see the outcry, but I really didn't understand the criticism of you.
Well, you know, I think it's because these characters are rare, you know. But I'm hoping that this simply means that it's the first that is made, but it's not the only one.
Yes.
I hope it just encourages more of these films because we have plenty of Abraham Lincoln, plenty of Winston Churchills, but we definitely need more Harriet Tubman. So I hope that this is just like the first of very many.
Leslie, you were saying this was a different experience for you working on this movie.
But yeah, I was talking about, you know, we're talking a lot about the patriarchy right now in society, which is, you know, overdue conversation that we're having, and this was really my first experience. I realized on set at some point, you know, experiencing the matriarchy in some form. You know, my lead actress was a woman, my director, my lead producer.
So how'd that feel?
You know,
yes, that's right. How'd that feel? Good question, Anthony.
Not better or worse, but different.
Yes.
You know, it's a vibe.
How does it feel? How does it feel different?
It's well.
Delicate territory here. Just say it was better.
Because it's not better or worse. It's not better or worse. It's really not. You know, my Hamilton experience was all men.
Yes.
You know, all men led that experience. You know, I guess I was just. It wasn't that different, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's taken me, you know, 20 years to have the experience. You know what I mean? It's kind of that thing. You're like.
I heard the conditions were grueling, guys, and Deborah Martin Chase, who produced it, said, if Harriet can get through what she had gotten through, that many of you felt we can get through this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that at the other end there would be someone with a coat, and we'd be able to go back inside, and we were fine.
It was really powerful. Great performance.
Thank you so much.
Well done. I'm so glad you did it. Cynthia Erivo and Leslie Odom Jr., we thank you. Harriet, by the way, is in theaters today.